You know, the Trump administration has moved on so many issues in these first 4 months that it can be hard to keep up. But one area that created a lot of concern is education, when President Trump signed an executive order to eliminate the federal department.
Now, whether that could happen, it's still actually up for debate, as Democrats say congressional action would be required. But in tonight's Saved by the Bell edition of the Buckley Report, Bob shows us what it could mean in the places where it matters most, and that, of course, is where chalk meets board.
It's a done deal.
Mike Hettenbach and his team at High Point Central go about the hard work of educating hundreds of kids each day.
Are you playing ball for us next year?
While 325 miles northeast, a pen is flying and making significant impact on what happens to education everywhere.
We're going to shut it down and shut it down as quickly as possible.
President Trump signed an executive order to shut down the Federal Department of Education, making people like Principal Hettenbach wonder how a shutdown will affect schools like Central.
It's a great question, because what exactly does that mean? You know, I think with a lot of things happening, it's very generalized and there's no specifics. So it's almost like coming back.
Does the Department of Education do anything for you guys on a daily basis, or is it just some sort of remote entity?
I think, you know, a lot of it comes from upholding policies, laws, money's a big thing, so again, the question is, what would we miss? What would we not miss? And I don't think anyone knows that answer right now.
The president says his idea is to remove the layer of bureaucracy the federal government imposes on education and send federal money directly to the states.
It was handled very well before there was a Department of Education. It would be handled very well again, and hopefully, as the president said, there'd be more money going to the states, not less money.
The state's newly elected superintendent of public instruction is worried about whether that promise will hold.
But I've not received any level of assurance that those dollars will continue.
And what does he mean by that? Send it to the state?
Yes.
Send it to and then the oversight of the state and there's so many unknowns, because how one state would handle the money versus another state, it's like the education lottery. Like, not all that money is going to education.
Right. The U.S. did without any federal Department of Education until President Andrew Johnson signed one into law in 1867, though concern over federal control of education led to it being demoted from cabinet level to simply an Office of Education the very next year.
The more that you can seek help.
Veteran teacher Kayla Renew says she sees areas where the lack of a Department of Education could be a problem.
It makes me worry about funding for some of our like 504 program, the IEPs, like our special needs students or our English language learner students, and then just general support. That grant that I got to get my national boards, I'm pretty sure it came from federal money.
IEPs are individualized programs that most states, including North Carolina, require for students with special needs that are often funded by federal money, something the education secretary said could be looked at when she testified before a congressional committee.
Are you planning to break the law by impounding congressionally appropriated funds?
Well, I can certainly report to you, Ranking Member, that we are evaluating every single program. We're looking at it very carefully.
But so far, the administration has lived up to its promise to not cut education funding that states have been receiving. Is there anything besides money that the Department of Education does?
Not so much as there's like a national curriculum, nothing like that, but ensuring that all schools follow rules for things like IEPs and 504 plans, I think is really important, that kids that move from state to state, like that thing will go with them.
That type of oversight that can provide consistency is what many people feel is the primary role of the federal government in education.
Right, and to make sure those things last for a long period of time.
Bob Buckley.
Yeah.
Fox 8 News.
The Trump administration believes it can save $12 billion by eliminating the bureaucracy of the Federal Department of Education. That's about 15% of the budget, and use the savings to either increase the amount it gives to the states or to help reduce the federal deficit. Charles.